welcome to our English news coming to you from Canal, Algérie. To the headlines. The President of the Republic chairs a meeting with the High Commissioner for Control and Customs Transactions. The President of the Republic receives the Tanzanian Foreign Affairs Minister and East African Cooperation now on a visit to Algeria. Algeria reiterates its commitment to constitutional return in Niger and warns against any foreign military intervention. Army General Said Shingriha still in Russia at the invitation of the Russian Defense Minister. And as usual, during this summer season, a spotlight is shed on one of Algeria's enchanting cities. Welcome back. First in our news, the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, chaired on Tuesday a meeting of the High Commission for the Control of Customs Declarations and Commercial Transactions. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, also received the Tanzanian Minister of Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation, Stergomena Lawrence Tax, now visiting Algeria. The audience took place in the presence of the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the National Community Abroad, Ahmed Attaf, and the Principal Private Secretary of the Presidency, Nadir Al-Arbawi. Following the audience, the Tanzanian Foreign Affairs Minister, Lawrence Tax, had this to say. Let's have a listen.
It was indeed a great honor for me to be received by His Excellency, the President. As you know, Tanzania and Algeria, we have a long historical relationship, brotherly relationship, and we are here to cement our cooperation. We have discussed a number of issues, and we have agreed to strengthen our cooperation in a number of areas, including education, health, energy, oil and gas. And in that education, as well as I've said, in that regard, we believe that this is just, as I've said, we have been cooperating. But in terms of enhancing our cooperation, this is just a beginning. So we'll have more exchange to concretize what we have agreed. So I hope to see business people from Algeria coming to Tanzania, business people from Tanzania coming to Algeria, but also government officials as well. There will be a number of exchanges. And we appreciate that so far we have received tremendous support from Algeria in a number of areas. And we believe that my being here, I've seen His Excellency, and I'm very grateful. But also we'll be marking 60 years of our diplomatic relations. And as part of those celebrations, tomorrow we'll be officially inaugurating our embassy, Tanzanian embassy here in Algeria. It has been here since 2017, but tomorrow it will be an official inauguration. Thank you very much. I thank the people of Algeria for their hospitality and for being grateful for us since we arrived in this very beautiful city. Thank you so much.
The fifth session of the Algerian-Tanzanian Joint Cooperation Commission, chaired by the Minister of Foreign Affairs and his Tanzanian counterpart, kicked off on Tuesday. This session aims at giving a new impetus to relations between the two countries in light of the commitments made by their leaders. Ahmed Attaf seized the opportunity to underline the quality of the political relations between Algeria and Tanzania, and their promising prospects in the economic and social fields, which require greater efforts to ensure a better exploitation of cooperation and integration opportunities offered by the two countries' economies. Ahmed Attaf pointed out that despite the challenges the world has been facing over the past years, the spirit of brotherhood, solidarity and cooperation has remained the main feature of relations linking the two countries and peoples. For her part, the Tanzanian Minister of Foreign Affairs indicated that the meetings of the Joint Commission are a platform for fruitful dialogue where strategic issues are discussed. It aims to strengthen cooperation and explore new avenues for development and progress in Africa. Algeria reiterated its deep attachment to constitutional return in Niger and the respect of the rule of law. In this spirit, the Algerian government reaffirmed its support for Mohamed Bazoum as the legitimate president of Niger. It is imperative that the return to the constitutional aspect be achieved by peaceful means to avoid further insecurity and instability in broadly Niger and the region as a whole, and further adversity and hardship for our people. Consequently, Algeria called for vigilance and restraint to avert any foreign military intervention, which will for sure worsen the current crisis, concluded the communique released by the Foreign Affairs Ministry. On the second day of his visit to the Russian Federation, Army General Said Shingriha, Chief of Staff of the People's National Army, was received at the Russian Defense Ministry by the Russian Defense Minister, Army General Sergei Shoigu. The two parties had held a working session during which the two delegations reviewed ways and means of consolidating cooperation between the two countries' armies. Details with Minister Kabesh.
During this meeting, the Army General expressed his gratitude for the warm welcome he received and good hospitality ever since his arrival to the Russian Federation.
تشكراتي وامتناني العميق على حسن الضيافة والكرم اللذين حظينا به منذ وصولنا إلى فيدرالية روسيا.
And conveyed to the Russian Defense Minister the greetings of the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, Minister of National Defense, to his Russian counterpart, Vladimir Putin, to the Russian people and to the armed forces, expressing the importance of this visit that will help promote our cooperation.
معبرا عن أهمية هذه الزيارة التي من شأنها المساهمة في تعزيز تعاوننا.
Army General Said Shingriha then laid a wreath of flowers in front of the commemorative stele of the unknown soldier, where he was welcomed by the military commander of Moscow. Army General also observed a minute of silence and listened to the national anthem before reviewing a detachment of the Guard of Honor of the Defense Ministry, who paid him the honors.
March.
The Chief of Staff of the People's National Army then visited the square of Emir Abdel Qadir, which was inaugurated by President Abdelmajid Tebboune, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, Minister of National Defense, during his official visit to the Russian Federation last June. Army General Shingriha laid once again a wreath of flower at the memorial of Emir Abdel Qadir and paid tribute to the memory of martyrs.
In the Algerian-Zimbabwean cooperation, the Minister of Energy and Mines, Mohamed Arqab, and his accompanying delegation were received today in the capital, Harar, by Zimbabwean President Emerson Mnangagwa. Arqab conveyed to the Zimbabwean President the greetings of the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, reiterating Algeria's determination to work together in order to give fresh impetus to bilateral relations. For his part, the Zimbabwean president instructed the Minister of Energy to convey his fraternal greetings to the President of the Republic. The Energy Minister also held talks with his Zimbabwean counterpart, Soda Zimo, in the presence of the general managers of the Sonatrach, Sonelgas, Soneram, and Naftal companies. The meeting allowed the two delegations to review ways of enhancing cooperation between the two countries in the hydrocarbon sectors and the prospects of creating favorable partnership opportunities. On the occasion, a memorandum of understanding was signed to promote cooperation in the field of oil, gas, electricity, renewable energies, and training. In this regard, the Zimbabwean Minister of Energy and Development expressed his country's will to further develop cooperation with Algeria. Tasked by the President of the Republic, the Interior Minister Brahim Rad headed to the eastern provinces of Tarif, Mila and Sétif to pay a visit to the forest fires victimized families and present them the heartfelt condolences during this ordeal. He handed financial packages to these families and reiterated the state's solidarity with them to overcome these dire circumstances. Thanks to the President of the Republic's commitment regarding the relaunch of the economic sector, all the indicators are green, especially in terms of investment. Melissa Kebesh gives us more details.
Among the numerous positive indicators recorded in the economic sector, the rate of investment project is eye-watering, reaching nearly 3,000. Remarkable achievements that illustrate the efficiency of the approach adopted within the framework of the decisions taken by the President of the Republic, encouraging investment and removing all the bureaucratic hindrances.
تجدر الإشارة إلى أن عدد المشاريع الاستثمارية المسجلة.
A large number of investment projects has been recorded. The latest figures shows that on the 20th of July 2023, it reached 2,984 projects, including 2,923 local ones and 21 projects with foreign partners, amounting to 1,694 billion dinars, in addition to the creation of 76,300 job opportunities. These figures are a telling evidence of the efficiency of the approach adopted to reform the national system in the field of investment and the strategy advocated by the President to increase the integration rate and upgrade the national production. Boost exports is also one of the head of state's objectives through the new investment law and the facilitations granted to investors. In only 3 years, we've achieved these results with nearly 3,000 investment projects and 76,000 job positions, which proves the improvement in the Algerian affair climate. As for the financing of national economy by banks, notably that of public sector, it reached unprecedented results thanks to the new mechanisms applied by banks.
The national airlines company Air Algérie launched the second line linking Algeria and Russia. This new line kicks off with 3 flights a week, offering thereby more partnership opportunities. Najah Diyar has the details.
At the beginning of the 18th century, St. Petersburg was built. It's considered today as a very important cultural center with many museums, theaters and historical monuments, such as the Blue Mosque of St. Petersburg, one of the largest mosques of Europe. Built in 1913, it can house nearly 500 worshippers and it has 2 minarets that reach 48 meters high. The Blue Mosque is a particular religious building with an original architectural style and aesthetics. Here we have several monuments that tell the story of Africa and the African countries, and of course we want you to visit us. Today the links between Africa and Russia are very crucial for our country. Green spaces, museums and parks. Visitors are confused what to choose between all these. And for boat trips lovers, crossings are offered on the Neva River, lined with many palaces, museums and historical monuments. Since July 27th, direct flights have been launched by Air Algérie company linking Algiers and St. Petersburg with 3 flights per week. The new Algiers-St. Petersburg line is an achievement for the Algerian diaspora, especially students. It's also an asset for the tourism sector in Algeria, which will help attract more people from this region of the globe. This will revitalize the sector, particularly in the southern regions of the country. I'm from Botswana. I'm very happy with this line. It's an opportunity for us to visit Russia and make our culture known in these regions. To make known the cultures of the African continent and to facilitate the transport for travelers, the new line Algiers-St. Petersburg will make it possible to reinforce partnership between the 2 countries while reinvigorating the cultural exchanges.
And as usual, during this summer season, we shed the spotlight on one of Algeria's ancient cities. Ain Timushint is our destination for today with Najah Tayyar, who tells more about its immense beauties, but also its tourist assets.
Ain Timushint is a privileged province with its strategic position being near the three major western provinces of Algeria, namely Oran, Sidi Bel Abbas and Tlemcen. Its location allows it to be a crossroad that has its own huge number of visitors. Ain Timushint is 500 kilometers far from Algiers. It has great agricultural vocation and nevertheless touristic as well, given its great natural assets wherever the eye can see. This jewel of the Algerian seafront has a coast of 84 kilometers that is a huge tourism potential. Sassel, Terga, Benisaf are one of the wonderful beaches in the region, with its turquoise water, golden sand, air freshness, and calm environment that will definitely help clean one's mind. It has also tremendous tourism infrastructures that offer a unique experience with their services and most distinguished architecture and view. Ain Timushint, a region that is very rich in history and cultures, an important factor that gives it an added tourism value. Speaking of history, it must be mentioned that Benisaf region was the capital of the Western Kingdom of Numidia that King Syphax erected in the 3rd century before Christianity. Ain Timushint, and thanks to its countless potentials, stands as one of the brightest destinations throughout the whole year for visitors from all over the world.
That was it for tonight. Thank you for joining us. Good night.